Hey everyone, this is smpratte, and today we are back with another market discussion video. Right now, there are too many people in Pokemon who are overly concerned with the money side of the market. The market right now is not doing one simple thing like it was a year ago. Back in 2020, everything was on a rocket ship to the moon. Pretty much every card went up, even energy cards. If you were here for 5 minutes in Pokemon, you probably stocked something. Where today, it requires a little bit more understanding, a little more experience. And for those people who are new and they're wondering, why is my base set Charizard not still going up with infinite rocket fuel, exploring more galaxies? It's come back down to earth because that is just a simple supply and demand adjustment. It's not a representation of the overall demand of the market. What I'm seeing right now from a lot of people is frustration and negativity, especially the inexperienced, only been here a couple years category. People who can name less than 20 Pokemon, all that, select all, are frustrated because their Charizards are not just constantly stonking, hand over fist. So what do? They point to their friends and their little fishbowls like, you think what I'm thinking? Yeah, you thinking what I'm thinking over there? Yeah, oh, this is all in a bubble. This is all in a bubble. That's what it is. By the way, anyone who's to sell me any Pokemon card from the Pokemon Go bubble pricing, you can slide in my DMs all day. I don't care what card it is. If you want to offer it to me at the Pokemon Go bubble rate all day, every day, I'll take those cards all day, every day. The point of that joke is this noise does not represent the overall market trajectory. When people get salty about Charizard or whatever new thing it is, they think some grand conspiracy, the market's speculative, it's all a bubble, whatever song and dance we've heard forever. That's more about not only them, but that particular item and the supply demand ratios of that item. You know, why base unlimited Charizard went way up and way down is again because you had all this new demand come in on previous supply, so it went way up, and then people realized, oh wait, there's like 100,000 Charizards printed for base unlimited. So yeah, there might be more of them that are going to come out from this new demand, and sure enough, here we are. Super simple stuff. Now, when you look at everything else that's going on past the WotC era, EX era is doing fine. If not, most of this stuff went up from 2020. Diamond and Pearl especially. Diamond and Pearl did absolutely nothing for the longest time, and I'm selling my level X's easier than majority of my like whatever super saturated WotC things happening right now. So those later eras are doing better, and we're still in English. Like we're not even stepping over to Japanese, which really showcases what the market is doing. You know, going back to understanding the demand of the market and figuring out, okay, how much of this is just in relation to this particular item versus the overall demand. Japan is the easiest way to understand the demand of Pokemon right now. They are literally doing unprecedented things in Japan. It's like wartime era in Japan for Pokemon. Like they are rationing Pokemon cards in Japan as we speak. Like I wish I was exaggerating, but that's what's going on. They are opening up product in stores to disincentivize people from flipping it, scalping it, whatever you call it. Like that's unprecedented. That has never happened, even in the 90s mania. For everybody who was around back then, all the vintage collectors, they remember how crazy it was. Even in the 90s, they weren't opening product to stop people from flipping it afterwards. Also, you have the lotteries going on. You have product, just not enough supply to meet that demand. It's crazy imbalanced right now because there is so much demand. So if we come back over the fence back into English, you go look at Target, things are better. Big stores are better than they were in 2020, but it's only for certain sets right now, and that will probably change. I know Pokemon's really trying to put effort into getting more supply out there, not getting into all the other general issues of the supply chain issues for the whole like world right now and that whole crazy things. Outside of that, sticking in within Pokemon, Shining Fates has a lot more supply. And I remember telling people, just chill out, Pokemon will fix it. Sure enough, they did. It's better than 2020, but still, there is more demand than the current amount of supply. That's why prices are higher. That's why Pokemon Center, when they drop an ETB for $50, is botted out in 5 minutes. That is a better metric for demand. Not what Charizard base set's doing, not what the millionth person who's been here for maybe 1 year has a hot take to say about what's going on in the market. Not that. The overall demand in the market is best observed through the current demand for modern Pokemon, because that is the widest pool of people. Yes, the super serious grandma basement Patreon subscribed smpratte people out there are spending the most per card. Like the people who are spending $1 million on Pokemon card, sure, they're down there with me in the like fourth layer grandma house, but that isn't the most widespread market. You know, those are a handful of people compared to how many people are in this ocean of modern. And speaking of ocean, one of the things I'm seeing, going back to like all the noise that's out there and all the negativity that's out there, and I always try to put out a realistic, positive vibe or message in all my videos. I'm always trying to do that, like give you some market data while also like emphasizing like how to remain positive and, ignore the noise and the unproductive negativity. One of the things I'm seeing right now in mass are a lot of people who are like, yeah, my base at Charizard is just not continually increasing, so it's got to be in a bubble. And because there's so many people now, in this modern arena, or just new people, it's really easy to start talking amongst your friends and like validating those feelings and thinking, oh yeah, it's all bad, it's all speculative, it's all whatever, everything's a scam, that type of like teenage angst. What people are doing is they're creating fish bowls and thinking that that is the entire ocean. Like they have their little group of friends, whether it's 10, 20, 100, 1,000, all that's still small relative to the overall Pokemon market. This is a fishbowl that you're in, and you think, oh yeah, we're all just bathing this water. That's all I can see because I'm just treading water all the time, and me and my buddies, this is my entire world. But at the end of the day, that's a fishbowl. That is not the entire market. And I have seen people in that same scenario, whether it's 2020, 2018, 2016 with the Pokemon Go bubble. By the way, any people who want to sell me any Pokemon Go bubbles, got to plug it in there as many times as I can. You want to sell me a card, the Pokemon Go bubble rate, slide in my DMs all day. Guaranteed response. Any card from 2016 Pokemon Go bubble from all those people who were for sure it was a bubble in 2016, hit me with any card at any price from that time. Guaranteed purchase. Back on track. I've seen it back then with the Pokemon Go bubble. I've seen it before with the Gold Star bubble. I saw before when social media started almost 10 years ago now, at least 10 years ago now. You saw it back then. You saw people going into that fear mode with their friends, and they're like, oh, here we go. Someone's talking about Pokemon and opening up packs that's somehow bad, and it means that the market's in a bubble. I've heard this for over 10 years now. And it's not to say that sometimes you should be cautious. You should focus on the price is what you pay, value is what you get. But the real answer underneath all that are the fundamentals of what you're buying, not the outrage of the moment. I don't really see a reason to be outraged 90% of the time for people who are just enjoying a collectible hobby. It's really hard for me. I struggle to really like subscribe to the outrage most of the time. And I think it's because I've been around so long and I've experienced all these trends and patterns so many times at this point that it naturally gives you a contentment and confidence to just, smooth past it because I've already been here before. Whether the name is Charizard Baller 69 or Charizard Baller 69 _ XXX 420, I've seen that person that's saying that thing 1,000 times. And they'll come and go. They'll come and go. There'll be another iteration of Charizard Baller 69. There'll be a part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 XXX _ It goes on infinitely. Like it'll just keep going and going. Those people come and go. That's what you got to remember at the end of the day. Legends never die. Fundamentals never die. Like hype comes and goes. Fundamentals never die. Period. It just doesn't matter. There are always people out there. When we go back to this idea of the market and the ocean, things like that, the market is not at a place like when people think of price ceilings and things like that. We have not reached anywhere near the majority of the market. In fact, classical investing is constantly doing outreach. Constantly. They are constantly doing outreach because, according to their data, only about 50-ish% of people are in classical investing. And that's in any sense. That's not like they have everything in there. That's just something in. That's half. And this is the biggest arena of investing in like the history of man. And they still can't get everybody. So when you're talking about something like collectibles in general, and more specifically, things like Pokemon, there are so many people out there who grew up with this, so many latent collectors out there, so many potential cross collectors, so many people who might, are born today that might get into this and get into it later on. The market is always in motion is the takeaway here. Going back to this fishbowl idea in my little mini therapy session rant about, people who constantly are pontificating and saying everything's in a bubble. The market isn't one person. Even when I talk about myself, yes, I have a very extensive analysis or, experience and time and a lot of these exceptions that require a lot of dedication and effort, etc., that allow me to see the market from such a broad way and long way. The problem is that even then, there's certain things that I'll miss. Like even these card-ass cards I listed the other day, which is another data point for the overall demand in the market. I'm like, these are like low to mid-grade. Like we're talking PSA 4 to 6 here. We're talking practice. I put these up on eBay. Half of them sold already. I already sold half my inventory, which is, again, more data for what's going on in the market outside of base set Charizard. The bottom line is one person does not represent the entire market. Your little fishbowl, your little Discord, your little Instagram private chat, I don't care what it is, that fishbowl does not represent the entire market. That represents your friends and what you guys care about, and maybe that little tiny speck, that little tiny pixel of the pixelated brick NFT that you're going to invest in to make money on. That's all it represents at the end of the day. The market is so vast, it's constantly in motion, constantly growing. It's like a breathing thing that's always expanding, contracting all the time. So many different things, even within one individual. I wake up one day more aggressive and ready to do things with more energy, and less energy the next day, more positive one day, less positive another day. And I'm one person. So all of that's out there in the market all the time. And I think that needs to be stated more than just, oh, it's all in a bubble and things like that. Because at the end of the day, what we're doing is just trading things that we enjoy. That's really it. And there are fundamentals under these cards. You know, there's fundamentals of how rare they are, the condition, demand, etc., things like that. But we are just trading from an emotional value amongst other people in the monetary side of the price. You know, I think people are obsessing on a little bit too much right now. Just represents that current value. And again, it's more about the supply-demand ratios rather than the overall demand of the market. Sure, it can give you some inference of what's going on, but overall, one single thing is not going to tell you the whole market. Again, base set chars are down, card ass PSA 5 up. Like, that's how you got to look at it. You can't just look at one item and be like, okay, well, everything's bad now because my Charizard's not killing it anymore. So that's what I have for, the current market situation. Again, it's not doing one simple thing. It's going to require a little bit more engagement. You're going to have to understand these trends, and the best way to do that is to ignore a lot of negativity and try to value your time. The best advice I can give you, being here for 15 years, is focus on quality engagement. There's a lot of low quality engagement now in the hobby. And if you are, spending your time, again, these fish bowls are constantly saying the same things over and over again, and without, providing evidence of like looking at the whole market and how Japanese is in a situation that's so unprecedented that it can only be, there's way too much demand and not enough supply to where they're literally rationing Pokemon cards. Like, I cannot believe, like, this is real life. Like, it's some sci-fi futuristic movie where it's like, we're like rationing Pokemon cards. Like, literally, that's what's happening right now. That's how crazy the imbalance is. So to me, that's a better metric on the market than like what base unlimited Charizard is doing. So there you go, guys. That's what I have. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. It's always fun to discuss the market. I could do these forever, and I do them every month on Patreon if you're interested. So you know the deal. Let me know how you feel. That's pretty much it. Till next time.